Seperti ASN kemudian
Now it's correctly.
I'm just trying to guys. Or if you have to try to this, you will see right after that, half into AP into BC. Those are like, yeah. She learned about flat down. Parents teachers meeting. It's not a good side. Because the environmental funding. Sir, there's no paper. Science focus on the how in success from the legacy from the moment you are I know how to work it out. Because what I'm seeing is I suppose I'm in the formula. 1.4. But I have half into base into multiply base. 1.4 is really one. And then I
Map पर पूछ लो एक बार कैसे तो आता है मेरे को भगाया
कौन सा करना
इसी को कोई बोली नहीं
अभी बोली थी मेरे को
और सुन तो बैठो नहीं बैठो मैं इधर तो नहीं बैठा
चल भी चल अरे फेसबुक की लाइव
पवार लोग सिग्नल के
आ रहे हम लोग मूवी देखने जा रहे हैं ना अरे जल्दी चल
अकेले बैठा
आ उनकी बात बड़ी जा रही है बस नहीं आ रहा पता नहीं क्यों की चलता है ऐसे हमारा बैठ रहा अरे ये और नहीं आ रही अभी यार पर इधर दूसरी बैठनी कौन सा
आया तो क्या होती
Okay. So first we got subject marks. Which subject marks? Subject paper. Chemistry period. What did you do? Okay. On 20. 13 तो इतना सारा क्या मिस्टेक हुआ
आर्बिट्रल एंगल नहीं पड़ा था हम समझा नहीं दिया था इसको विधान और देवान
exactly what chance I mean इतनी लगती अब तो मैं नीलेश की तरफ देख रही कुछ पूछ रहे हो तुम तो ऑब्वियसली नहीं तुमको कुछ पूछने के लिए तो पहले साथ पूछना पड़ता है क्या भक्ति concentrate today in the class. How are you going to start today? ये सर ही है ये सर से कम थोड़ी है आपको कितना मिला सर 14 एक बार 14 बोलते हो एक बार 13 बोलते हो अच्छा we finished with nutrition we finished with the chapter we are done with the chapter so now we are going to start with digestive system right we are going to start with digestive system today let us start with the chapter digestive system as per your school exam portions after that skeletal system you said or some other chapter you said Asha. Whatever is your exam portion you'll be pretty sure what your exam portions are so maximum possible we should be done in the class before your exams maximum possible we should be done in the class so today Asha St. Mary's only this girl is there where's the other boy St. Mary's so St. Mary's are we finishing your portions also nutrition is there the nutrition we are doing and now digestive system will try to finish but yes digestive system again is going to be a little bit of elaborate chapter first of all when we are talking about the process of digestion let us try understanding first what is the definition of the word digestion Mr. Spandan किससे क्यों क्वेश्चन का जैसे सुनते हो अनिष्का क्यों याद आता है enjoy these days we should enjoy अभी ये सब छोटे छोटे बातों पे बहुत हंसी आती है ना nice you're a children so now when we are talking about digestive system digestion what is digestion who can define this word digestion मतलब क्या है what is it it is a process of breaking down of food what type of food should be broken down what type of food has to be broken down what type of food should be broken down foodstuffs what type of foodstuffs should be broken down food what type of food should be broken down my question still remains the same what type of food should be broken down what type of food all throughout your life you should get teachers like me all throughout your life what type of food will be now I'm sticking to you what type of
life we want to eat in day-to-day life what we eat
what type of food do we eat we had already finished the chapter nutrition what type of food should be broken down protein now you come to the point what type of food should be broken down with the protein with the food rich in vitamins or the food rich in proteins the food rich in proteins should the food rich in vitamins or minerals break down or the food rich in carbohydrates the food rich in carbohydrates The water should be broken down, or the food rich in fat should be broken down. Why?
Because it is a part of
Why?
digestion.
Because
It's a part of digestion.
it is a part of digestion. Because
The body cannot absorb it.
directly. So now already in the chapter nutrition you have studied that there are certain nutrients which are simple. Name some categories of nutrients which are simple. Already in their simplest forms. Nutrients which are already in their simplest forms when we eat, consume them. Nutrients which are already in their simplest forms. Iron, okay, and calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin B1, B6. So what are those categories called? Which type of nutrients are already in their simplest forms? Macronutrients, micronutrients. What type of nutrients are they? What type of nutrients are they? What category are they? What category are they? What category are they? Which category are we talking about? When I say that the zinc can be easily absorbed directly, calcium, phosphorus can be directly absorbed. If I talk about the iron and the magnesium and the molybdenum can be easily directly absorbed. Which type of nutrients I'm talking about? Which type of nutrients are
Vitamins and minerals.
Huh?
Vitamins and minerals.
Which type of nutrients are they? Vitamins and minerals we are talking about. So now my question again remains the same. So which type of nutrients should be digested and which type of nutrients does not need digestion? The type of nutrients which need digestion are fats. Very good. The type of nutrients which require digestion are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. So that's the reason when we had studied nutrition there, also you had studied that such type of nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, there were categories. Level by level, they get digested. They can be simpler, right, from the complex type. So if I start talking about a type of a nutrient, something like carbohydrate, present in stuffs like the rice, the bread, the roti, the chapati, the noodles, etc., any type of such nutrient-rich food, carbohydrate-rich food, the moment you start eating and munching them in your mouth, do they start entering into your blood at that time? No, but they have to travel all throughout a particular system of our body where they gradually will get converted into simpler forms. And lastly, at the intestinal region only, they are completely broken down into simplest forms. Now they can go into the blood. But if I talk about an apple, when I take an apple, the nutrients such as the minerals and vitamins, whatever are there in the apple, they straight away get soluble in the saliva, straight away start entering into the mouth, into the blood of the mouth region. But the carbohydrate part, the fibrous part, the roughage part, etc., that starts moving through the digestive system and start undergoing the process of breakdown, physical chemical breakdown. So what are we going to study under this concept of digestion? The process of continuous breakdown of the complex forms of food to simpler forms. Why is it necessary? Because most of the nutrients that are rich in our foodstuffs directly cannot enter the bloodstream. They have to progressively get simpler. But with the help of special type of chemical substances in our body, what are those special types of chemical substances in our body known as? The special types of chemical substances in our body are known as enzymes. What are enzymes? Special chemical substances, and these special chemical substances will break down. If I'm talking about the carbohydrate rich in bread, the carbohydrate present in bread, to the simplest form, glucose. If I'm talking about the proteins present in the eggs, to the simplest form known as amino acids. And if I'm talking about the fats present in the butter, to the simplest form known as fatty acids. So इतने सारे variety enzymes हैं हमारे digestive system में. So there are a variety of such type of chemical substances. Now, from where are these chemical substances? Got inside our body. Our body produces them. Our body cells produces them from time to time. Our body cells produces them from time to time. So with this basic understanding, what is digestion? What are enzymes? Why is the process of digestion necessary? Then we have to understand, why is digestion necessary? If the process of digestion is not happening inside our body, whatever type of food substances we are consuming, the most nutritive ones also, that's a waste for our body. That's a waste for our body. So let us start understanding the concept of digestion under the chapter digestive system. Digestive system. So when we are talking about digestive system, this particular chapter, as we study, another concept of digestive system, as we are saying, let us try to understand the parts first before we are clear about the function. Unless and until we are clear about the parts, we will not be able to understand the function. So first of all, we are going to talk about the digestive system to be divided into two major regions. One is known as the alimentary canal and the digestive glands. The alimentary canal and the digestive glands. First, you are going to understand what are the parts that comprise them. So what is the meaning of the word digestive system? The entire system in our body, a large number of organs involved, which will be constantly involved in the release of enzymes, breaking down of the food, passage of the food, etc. So first of all, I try to understand what are the parts of the alimentary canal. What are the parts of the alimentary canal? There are certain parts that we have to come across. The parts, first of all, to understand mouth. Mouth, the first part of the alimentary canal. We are talking about the alimentary canal, a continuous tube-like structure. A continuous tube-like structure, right? Start from our mouth till our abdominal region. And now that we are talking about the entire tube-like structure, continuous tube-like structure, at certain regions, the tube-like structure opens up to form a muscular, elastic structure, also known as a stomach, etc. So where the food keeps on moving. So after mouth, what is the next part that we talk about? Esophagus. It is known as esophagus. We learn all the characteristics properties one after the other. Esophagus. Now, after the esophagus, what is the third gland that we have to come? The third region of the body that we have to talk about is stomach. After the stomach, we talk about the small intestine. After the stomach, we talk about the small intestine, and then we talk about the large intestine, the last region of the alimentary canal. So when we are Spandan, मुझे भी बहुत हंसी आ रही है, पर पता है मेरा सिचुएशन क्या है? अब मैं हंस भी नहीं सकती क्योंकि ये 45 मिनट्स या जो भी 1 घंटे का लेक्चर है, आई हैव टू स्पीड अप विद द पोर्शन, और आप उसके बाद 5 मिनट में वहां पे जाके बैठ के हंसूंगी. बट यू आर इन अ बेटर सिचुएशन देन मी. यू डोंट हैव एनी टाइम लिमिट में भागना नहीं है. एंड आई टोल्ड यू जस्ट नाउ, नो, यू ऑल आर स्टिल चिल्ड्रन. वो ह्यूज चैप्टर को मैं 3 लेक्चर में खत्म करने की ही मेरी कोशिश है. So that is your headache, whether you want to learn. So इसीलिए तो that's why I'm spending this 2 minutes. I'm going to run with these chapters. हंसते रहोगे तो एग्जाम हॉल में भी नीलेश का चेहरा देख के तुमको हंसना ही पड़ेगा. Now the choice is yours. मुझे नहीं देखना है, बोर्ड में देखना है जो भी मैं लिखती हूँ. बस सुनते रहना है और बोर्ड में देखना है. या तो नीलेश को और वेदांत को देख के हंसना है. ये 2 ऑप्शन है. हाँ, आई सो सैड.
मेरी क्लास ठीक है.
हाँ,
मेरी क्लास ठीक है.
तुम्हारी क्लास ठीक है. इनका वैसे भी कोई क्लास ही नहीं है. छोड़ है ना. belongs to a different class altogether. Concentrate. नहीं तो ये first bench खाली है वैसे भी स्पंदन. हाँ? वेदांत ने बोला. अब ये फर्स्ट बेंच या तो स्पंदन इसको फिल करेगा या तो तुम फिल करोगे. दोनों में से कोई. But हर 15 मिनट में I'm going to give you 2 questions. वो भी आंसर नहीं करेगा क्लास के बाहर हवा खाएगा. Finished. Now, what are the parts of the digest alimentary canal? First of all, I'm telling you. Now, here what I told you is this is a system of continuous tube-like structure where the food passes. A system of continuous tube-like structure where the food passes. So, what is common here when I talk about the parts of the alimentary canal? What is common? What are some of the parts that you have to remember? The common parts are that if I talk about the mouth and the esophagus and the stomach and the small intestine and the large intestine, you will come across it is a continuous tube-like structure through which the food can pass. It is a continuous tube-like structure through which the food is passing. And if I have to talk about the digestive glands, then what is the difference? Is the food passing through these structures? No, the food does not. Then which are the digestive glands? Now to talk about the digestive glands, which are the digestive glands? The first digestive gland I talk about are the salivary glands. The first digestive gland that I'm talking about would be the salivary glands. The next I talk about is the liver, and the third chapter okay na school mein? Third is the pancreas. The pancreas. So we have 3 digestive glands. We are talking about 3 digestive glands, and these 3 digestive glands that we talk about would be the salivary glands. Remember the names: salivary glands, liver, pancreas. So अब ये difference पहले समझ में आना चाहिए. The moment I talk about the digestive system, divided into 2 regions. If I am talking about alimentary canal, ये सारे regions वैसे हैं through which the food can pass. And it is that region where the digestion is happening. Then what about the digestive glands? It is outside the alimentary canal, on the outer regions of the alimentary canal. Is this a continuous tube-like structures? Are these a continuous tube-like structures? No. Surrounding these tube-like structures, these are present. And individually, they keep releasing variety of chemical substances, which helps in the process of digestion. And each of them would be now releasing enzymes. I already told you what are enzymes. Enzymes are chemical substances which can break down complex food substances into simpler forms. Take on one question first. Name the 2 divisions of digestive system and mention their parts. Name the 2 divisions of digestive system and mention their parts. Name the 2 divisions of digestive system and mention their parts. What are you writing? Name the 2 divisions of digestive system. Name the 2 divisions of digestive system and mention their parts. लिखो आंसर क्या लिखना है? What to write? What will you write as the answer? Write the answer on your own. ये क्या है? इतना कनेक्शन लूज है. इसमें प्रॉब्लम है, उसमें प्रॉब्लम. ये सब अच्छी तरह से करके रखो ना एक बार. कनेक्शन हर जगह इसमें भी है. 10th की क्लास में कनेक्शन लूज है उसमें. टाइम वेस्ट होता है ना. देखो बार बार ये जा रहा है. What answer to write there? What is the first one? 2 divisions of digestive system. I said. Answer क्या है? Digestive glands. Next part of the question, what I asked? Mention the parts. So what are the parts we are supposed to understand? Mention the parts. Alimentary canal ke 5 digestive glands, 3 primary digestive glands that we are talking about. There are some more also, but we are not talking about that as per your syllabus. We are talking about the primary 3 major 3 glands we are talking about. Then next is when we are talking about now. Right on the next question. Define the terms digestion. Define the term digestion. ठीक है मैं देख चलो ठीक है ठीक है. Define the term digestion. इसको करके रखो यार. Define the terms digestion. अभी हो जाएगा नहीं जैसे इसको मैं करूंगी ना फिर से चला जाएगा. ये सही नहीं ऐसे नहीं होता. इसको करेक्ट करके रखना. Now when we are talking about this question, what will you write? What was the answer I told you? Define the term digestion. Breaking down of complex nutrients of the food. Proper definition लिखना है. Breaking down of complex nutrients of the food into breaking down of complex nutrients of the food into simplest absorbable forms. Absorbable forms meaning ready for absorption. Simplest absorbable forms. Simplest absorbable forms is known as digestion. मतलब they should be breaking down to that form जिससे absorption हो सके, process of diffusion हो सके. Absorbable forms is known as digestion. Now this is what I'm showing you when we are talking about the entire alimentary canal. The entire alimentary canal starting from the mouth and the esophagus and then the stomach, and then this part is the small intestine and this part is the large intestine. 5 parts we learn. Digestive glands. Which are the glands? In and around the mouth, the salivary glands. Can you see there? Salivary glands. What else? If I talk about the salivary glands, apart from the salivary glands now, if you see there, can you see now the salivary glands that I'm showing you? I'll show you separate figures also here. These are the salivary glands that I'm showing you. Okay? So these are the salivary glands. So now, after the salivary glands, which are the other? This one. One type of salivary glands here, just near the ear, see here. Another type of salivary glands here, just at the ends of the jaw. And another type of salivary glands just at the base of the tongue. At the base of the tongue, at the ends of the jaw and near the ear. 3 salivary glands. I'll show you the figures again later. This is the liver that we are talking about. And this is the pancreas that you understand, the liver and the pancreas. Dekha, the liver and the pancreas, the liver and the pancreas. So now a fair idea which part you are talking about. Let us start with the mouth now. First of all, we talk about the mouth. Now, what are we going to understand part by part? Some of the important features to come across. Mouth that we try to understand, certain features about the mouth. To talk about the mouth, what are the prominent structures that we have in the mouth? We have got the teeth and we have got the tongue. The teeth and the tongue. So now, if I talk about the teeth and the tongue, so these are the prominent structures that the mouth has. So part by part, if we try understanding that what are some of the features of the teeth, what are some of the characteristics of the tongue? Yeah, let us learn that the teeth structures that we have, what are they meant for? And now that I'm talking about the human teeth, now that I talk about the human teeth, certain terms we are supposed to understand. Now that I talk about the human teeth are known to be diphyodont. The human teeth are known to be diphyodont. Dentition, if you have to understand, they are known as heterodont. Okay, let us learn this terms first. The term that human teeth are known to be heterodont. What is the meaning of heterodont? Different types of teeth that we have for different functions. Different types of teeth. What are the different types of teeth that we have? We have got one type of teeth known as incisors. We have got one type of teeth known as incisors. We have got canines. We have got premolars, and we have got molars. So 4 types of teeth that we understand. But if I have to talk, wisdom tooth is one type of a molar tooth that we are talking about. That is the last. So when we are talking about the incisors, what is their basic function? One mark question that is. Incisors, what is their basic function? Cutting. No, tearing not. Cutting. You take a bite of the apple. Incisors you are using actually. You take a bite of the burger and the pizza. You are using your incisor, the front teeth. Incisors. So when I'm talking about this set of teeth, these are the incisors. Incisors they are. So when I'm talking about the incisors, this teeth I'm talking about, these are the incisors. Then what about the canines? What do they do? These are the teeth meant for tearing. Tearing. And of course, we human, if I have to talk about the type of nutrition that we show, what type of nutrition do we show? What is the mode of nutrition that we show? Herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, omnivorous, anything in this planet we can eat. So when we are talking about omnivorous, that's the reason we have canines, but the canines are not as sharp and pointing as in case of the carnivores. But still, our canines are also chisel shaped and they are also a little bit pointy. What is the meaning or what is the need? What is the significance? We can take it off. So whenever you are trying to tear off any type of a food that you are eating, remember your canines are putting on, or the pressure is most on the canines, and the canines are actually doing that job of tearing up. But yes, most of the time of the food that we are eating need not require so much of tearing as in case of the carnivores. Premolars and molars basically are known as grinders. Grinders. So children, when we are talking about young ages, they would generally not have the molars well formed. At that time, they have the premolars. And later, at a later stage, when we are talking about the childhood and then completing early childhood, by the time all the molars are formed. No. When you are talking about the 2 sets of dentition, these teeth also will share. Entire. So that's the wisdom which comes only once. That comes later. All others are temporary. When you are talking about the type of teeth, except for the last wisdom tooth, the last molar tooth, which is coming much later, other than that, all will shed and again come. Will again come. So when we are talking about these 2, what are their functions for 1 mark that you have, right? Cutting, tearing, and grinding. Cutting, tearing, and grinding. So commonly I would say that these types of teeth are basically helping in a particular process known as mastication. What is mastication? The entire process of chewing and grinding the food and resulting in the formation of a small mass of food in the mouth. So now that I talk about that, yes, mastication is happening. And now next we are also going to talk about that the tongue will form what? The tongue will release, or I'm sorry, the tongue will also help in the pushing of the food between the sets of the teeth. What is the function of the tongue? The tongue has got a lot of functions, but with relation to this, I say that the tongue is constantly placing the food between the sets of teeth, and that's how we are able to chew the food. Did you ever analyze if you are not using your tongue, will the food at all get placed between the 2 sets of teeth? No, the tongue is actually pushing the food between the sets of the teeth. So first of all, to understand what is the meaning of the word heterodont. Heterodont means the different sets of teeth that we have. One more definition that you have to understand here is diphyodont. Diphyodont. What is meant by diphyodont? Underline those definitions also as you come across. I don't get to see these definitions in your book, but they are there. Diphyodont. Diphyodont is there. Homodont, diphyodont, all these terms are there. So when we are talking about diphyodont, what is meant by diphyodont? Set of teeth. Diphyodont means we are talking about 2 sets of teeth. Okay, we are talking about 2 sets of teeth. What are the 2 sets of teeth? One is known as milk dentition. One is known as milk dentition, and the other is known as permanent dentition. So when we are talking about milk dentition and permanent dentition, what are we supposed to understand from here? What is milk dentition? The sets of teeth that an infant possesses. Right from the time an infant is something around 6 months, 7 months, the sets of teeth starts erupting. The sets of teeth starts emerging out, developing one after the other, one after the other. Then by the time this infant is almost about 2 years, the entire sets of teeth fully formed, except for the molars. And by the time this same individual is almost about 6 years again, 6 years, roughly 6.5, again, one by one, the shedding of the teeth happens. Is teeth a bone? Yes. Is teeth a bone? The deposits of calcium and phosphorus, it's not a bone. Rather, the jaw is the bone. The jaw region that we talk about. How many jaws do we have? 2 sets. Two, forming a set. So now that we are talking about the upper jaw and we talk about the lower jaw. The jaw is bony. Confirm? So now that we are talking about the jaw, bony structure, absolutely. But now the teeth which develops on the socket, known as the gums, surrounded by the fleshy part, the gums, that teeth is just a deposit of calcium and phosphorus to understand. So now that we are talking about what do you understand by the diphyodont sets of teeth, di from the word 2 sets of teeth all throughout our life, and the first set of teeth, which is generally present in the infant stages, milk dentition, also known as deciduous dentition or milk dentition, and the second is known as permanent dentition. Now, if this set of teeth happens to get damaged, or if you are erupting it, extracting it for any particular reason, is there any chance that again the teeth grows back? No, now the teeth will not grow back, only twice in a lifetime. Then when we are talking about their basic characteristics and their functions, the heterodont, the diphyodont set of teeth, now we try understanding what is actually known as the dental formula. Let us try to understand what is dental formula. Now, for the understanding of concept known as dental formula, if I'm missing out anything in between, you will tell me. Dental formula, what is the concept of dental formula? For dental formula, we are trying to understand that what is the number of teeth per type. What is the type? How many types of teeth? How many types of teeth? We have 4. So for dental formula, we have to understand in 1/2 of the jaw, 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 how many teeth per type are there? How many incisors? How many canines? How many premolars? How many molars? So that is what we have to understand. But we are going to look into stage by stage of our life. So what are the 3 main stages that we can divide our life into? Stage of infancy, infant stages, and then we talk about the adolescent, your golden days, adolescent, and then we talk about the adult stages. Amish, enjoy life, no? Enjoy. This is the time you should focus on studies, but at the same time enjoy also. But it's rather enjoyment. Now, when we are talking about infant stages, which type of teeth are absent? You are asked questions always. Premolars. Okay. So write down the dental formula again. When we are talking about infant stages, what did I tell you? What are we trying to understand in the dental formula? Number of teeth per type, but in only 1/2 of the jaw. Meaning, if this is the upper jaw, this is the lower jaw. In only this part first we are talking about. In only this part. So what is it? 2. Then 1, 0, and 2. So what does this mean? 2, 1, 0, 0, and 2. Yes, 2, 1, 0, and 2. So what is the meaning of this 2 here? How many canines? I'm sorry, how many incisors? How many canines? How many premolars? How many molars? Which type of teeth absent? Premolars. Which type of teeth absent? Take a note. Which type of teeth absent? Premolars. Then, so what is the total number you get? 20. 2, 3, 4, 5. मैंने वो पूछा नहीं पूछा जो पूछा जाए उतना ही बोलो 2, 3, 4, 5 मतलब यहाँ पे हो गया 5. Same will be here, same will be here, same will be here. Okay. So now we write down this way, and now the total number is 20. So your question is, what is the total number of teeth in an infant? 20. Which type of tooth remains absent, or which type of teeth remain absent? Premolars. Can you tell me significance, or how is it? But still, how come the infant stages can be done with the premolars? How can the infant stages be done with the premolars? Why not for us? Or why not for the next stage when I talk? Because the type of food at that age is completely different, mostly soft food. Milk diet, no, but majorly when you're talking about a time period of something around 2 years, 3 years, majorly till that time, the food is majorly soft food because the process of teeth developing has not been complete. Now we talk about the adolescent stages. When we are talking about adolescent stages, difference, try to note down 2, 1, 2, 2. Now you know what are these numbers. Incisors, canines, premolars, molars. And same to write down here. 2, 1, 2, 2. So what is the total number of teeth in upper jaw? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. And down there 14. So total would be 28. You have to understand part by part. I talk about now that adult and try to understand a difference now. The adult, when I talk about, what is it? 2, 1, 2, 1. Adult dentition is the same thing there. Only one premolar wisdom tooth now comes. 2, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. Only that wisdom tooth we are talking about, which develops much later, as I said, something around 17, 18, 19 years. So 2, 1, 2, 3. Total number of teeth. If it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what should be the total? 8 into 4. So now we are talking about 32. Total number of teeth in different stages of our life. Take, huh? 4? Not 4 wisdom teeth. 1. तुम्हारे पास ऑलरेडी 2 तो है. अभी अगर विजडम होगा तो एक और सेट डेवलप होगा. हाँ, एक और पेयर. 1 in the upper jaw, 1 in the lower jaw. So wisdom होगा तो. So now when हाँ होगा, हाँ तब तो अच्छी बात है, होगा. हाँ ठीक है. हाँ क्या हुआ? तुमने किया था जॉय? उसको पता भी नहीं है कि नहीं. चलो, take 2 questions फटाफट. Write down 2 questions. What is the dental formula? What is the dental formula? ये सारी चीज नोटबुक में लिखो. What is the dental formula of an adolescent? What is the dental formula of an adolescent? What is the dental formula of an adolescent? Question mark. Next question. What is the number of teeth in the upper jaw of an infant? What is the number of teeth in the upper jaw of an infant? What is the number of teeth in the upper jaw of an infant? Number 3. Number 3. Number 3. Which type of teeth develops? Which type of teeth develops? Which type of teeth develops at a later stages? At a later stage of growth. Which type of teeth develops at a later stage of growth? Which type of teeth develops at a later stage of growth? Question mark. What is its function? What is its function? What is its function? You will first write down the name of that teeth. Which type of teeth? Wisdom tooth it is known as. No, wisdom tooth. Or you are talking about wisdom tooth is actually a type of what type of teeth? Molars. And what is its function? Grinding the food. You are not comparing this and this. You are comparing this and this. You are comparing this and this. In case of infant stages, you had 2 molars in 1/2 of the jaw. And now you have 3 molars in 1/2 of the jaw. So that's the last set of molar. That is it. Fatafat likho answer. This part is important. You always get some questions on this in your paper. Descriptive maybe as a part or objective. Done. Now, I'm waiting. You need a minute to write this answer. Over, Ashita, over. For the answer done. Done. You finished. Vedant, are you writing or not? Likho, fast likho. Any doubts you have? So what is the answer for the first question? What is the answer for the first question? This one you are writing. Adolescent. No, I asked you infant, no, or adolescent. What I asked you? First question, adolescent. I have asked you this. So here likhna hai. You understand? This is what you have to write, and you have to write down the total also. This entire thing is your answer. Itna tak hi nahi likhna hai. 28. This number also should be written. So that is the first question. What is the next question, Rudra? Question next kaun sa hai? What is the number of? What are you saying? Such a pain, this boy. Bhakti, what is the second question? Read out and tell me the answer. What is the number of teeth in the upper jaw of an infant? 10. Answer is 10. In 1/2 of the jaw, 5. In upper jaw. Lower jaw, answer wahi same hai. Lower jaw may be 10. Next question. Third, I gave you 3 questions. No question. Which type of teeth develops at a much later age of our life, later stage of our life? Wisdom tooth, and the last molar. And what is its function? Grinding function. So already we discussed that. Now we straight away look into the structure of the tooth. Structure of a particular tooth, whether in your exam you are mostly asked this particular diagram, labeling the parts. Labeling the parts. Now see here, when we are talking about this particular structure of the tooth, or if I talk about this particular structure of the tooth, what are the primary regions? The part of the tooth that we can see above the gum, that is what is called the crown. That is what is called the upper region, the white region that you can actually see. But the region that you can see above the gum, almost double of it is below the gum. Almost double of it is below the gum. Okay. So when we are talking about this upper region, which is known as the crown, and this small region, if I talk about here, say suppose this is the gum, and upper to the gum is the crown, which has got 2 primary regions. Which are the 2 primary regions? The enamel and the dentine. Which part? the enamel and the dentine. So when I'm talking about this outer cover, that is the dentine. This outer cover is the dentine. And just below that, we are talking about the enamel. Now, this enamel and dentine, these are actually the deposits of calcium. These are basically the deposits of calcium, not a bone at all. But still, they are much harder than the bone. These are, they are. This part is the upper. You cannot see the layers, but this is the upper region of the teeth that you get to see, the white part of the teeth that you get to see. When you're talking about the upper region, the enamel, you can see that's the white part. You can see the dentine is the layer, the lower layer, and that is just other. Now, if I talk about this particular region, this is actually known as the neck of the tooth. This is known as the neck part, which is the neck of the tooth, the junction of the tooth and the gum. And then there is a socket in the gum. There is a socket where the teeth or the tooth will just fit into. And is this the same for every type of an animal? No. With human, we have got a special structure like this. And there's a term also for this, where we understand that every tooth fits into a proper socket. Every tooth fits into a proper socket. And this is what is a cavity actually in the gum region. Now, here's certain few properties you have to understand. Now, surrounding this, I said this particular region is the neck region, and above this is the crown, and the two parts of the crown are the enamel and the dentine. Now, next is I talk about that, look into the inner region. If I talk about the teeth inner section, what are some of the few terms that you have to come across? Look into this. It has got an outer covering, which is also hard, known as the cement layer. Cement layer, it is called. The cement layer. So when I'm talking about this, the outer region also has, you can see in your figure in the book that you, in the diagram that you have, it must be mentioned there. The cement, which is the cement, the outer covering, the cement, the outer covering, but it is cemented layer, which is actually between the tooth and the gum. But it is inwards. We can't see that. We can't see that part. Come inwards. When I talk about the inner region, is the inner region hollow? No, it has got a fine pipe-like structure inside, but it is all filled with some matrix-like substance. It is filled up with some matrix-like substance, where in the inner region there is a empty space. And in this empty space, there are a large amount of soft tissues, nutritive substances, large number of blood vessels and nerves. This is what is present inside. At the inner region, that is what is present. And what is that inner region called? The pulp. The substance is called the pulp, and the space is called the pulp cavity. The pulp cavity. So what is inside there? Yes, there is enough amount of these matrix substances, which are also comparatively harder, but not as the dentine enamel, much softer, comparatively softer. And most important is when we are talking about the sensitive part of the tooth. Whenever we talk about extraction of a tooth, does it bleed? It bleeds. Whenever we are talking about, if anybody has heard about the concept of the treatment of root canal, the root canal treatment that has been done. Now, in the root canal treatment, or if any type of a treatment is happening on your tooth, do you sense anything or you don't sense anything? You don't sense anything. You have a problem with your tooth in that case. You should sense. So whenever any type of a treatment is going on with your teeth, say suppose now the dentist puts some hammer on your teeth to test, what is the quality of the teeth. Every particular tooth they would hammer and check. Do you sense any pain at the time or any sensation at the time? Yes, it does. So what can we say? That since we are able to sense, nerves are very much there inside. So now that I'm talking about the pulp cavity, what does the pulp cavity contain? The pulp cavity contains a large amount of nutritive matrix. What else in the nutritive matrix? It has got sufficient supply of blood vessels. It has got sufficient nerve endings. It has got sufficient nerve endings. And at the base, they remain connected with large number of blood vessels here. At the base. The nerves are destroyed. But say suppose whenever a person is extracting the tooth, there is the blood loss is there. So that's why the doctors would ask, put ice and try to stop the clotting. हाँ cotton है, and then as much as cold food खाने के लिए बोलते हैं ना, so that the process of clotting or oozing out of the blood stops. हाँ? 8 2 8
Yes, sir, we are at 6 February.
you
I ran over space in the mouth to another branch. So,
extraction of tooth, placement. So now doubt here है रुद्रा, अभी भी कुछ confusion है. So now when we are talking about this, so this is the basic structure that you have to understand the parts. So what are the main parts of the tooth we talk about? Look into the 3 regions on the lateral sides. We talk about the crown, we talk about the neck, and we talk about the root. This entire region is known as the root. Primarily, what are the 2 parts of the crown? The enamel and the dental. Primarily, what are the parts of the root? In the root, you have got first of all the cement, and then you have got the inner region, which is known as the pulp. And inside the pulp cavity rather, and inside is the pulp. And what is the pulp made up of? Nutritive matrix, blood vessels, nerve fibers. Okay. Again, okay, see here, cementum. So now that we are talking about the tooth, again to remember that the tooth basically is not a structure, which is not actually a bony structure. Now, look at the question section. Fatafat will try to do this question. Take up question number 4. Fatafat karo, page 116. Question number 4. Question number 4, page 116. Don't take too long. Huh? Fatafat karo. See if you are able to answer now. What is this? Structure of the teeth is the same thing. They have given the structure. I have explained the structure of a premolar, and that is the structure of a canine. The parts are more or less the same thing. That's the structure of a canine given there. That's the structure of a canine given there. Solve karo. Do it fast, do it fast. Which quiz? This one only. This is the structure of a canine. Look your book. Look into the diagram. This is the structure of a premolar. Either you get this or you will get the structure of a canine for labeling and questions. Parts would remain exactly the same. No difference. So take the diagrams. It is given, no? The same diagram you refer. The same diagram you refer in your book also it is given. Check this. The same diagram is given there also. Number 1 is enamel. Check karo if you have a doubt. Number 1 is enamel. Number 2 is dentine. Usme confusion nahi hone chahiye. Number 1 enamel. Enamel is always the outermost, and then comes dentine. Enamel, dentine. Then rest. 3 is pulp. 4 is gum. And then 5th is acha. 5th is that side. Correct. That's it. Answer the questions. Questions here? The parts you should know, and the functions, majorly one function. Chalo, read the questions one after the other. See if you are able to answer. Identify the tooth. What type of tooth it is? Likho, canine. Give a reason to support your answer. It is chisel shaped bolte. It is chisel shaped, pointed. Pointed ne likhte hain. CHISEL.
What is CHI?
CHISEL. Acha. No, don't write that word chisel shape. Cut that word. You write the upper region is pointed. Right down. It is pointed. Pointed. It is sharp and pointed. Sharp and pointed. Give a reason. Sharp and pointed. Write that. Give a reason. No, cut that. That's for incisors primarily. That word would be used. Sharp and pointed. Read the next question. What is the third? Describe the part 3. Yes. It is made up of. Describe karna hai, just in one sentence you write. It consists of soft connective tissue. Consists of soft connective tissue, comma, blood vessels and nerves. Consists of soft connective tissue, blood vessels and nerves. Only that much is enough. One mark it is. Go to the next question.
Give the total number of the type of food mentioned in the above in the mouth of the adult and stated function.
Four canines. So they are talking about adult. In adult, total number of canines, how many? That is the question. 4. Function kya hai? Tearing. That's it. Tearing the food. Tearing is the function. Done, all of you?
Yes.
Now, next is, we are,
What is it?
what is this? Padho. What is the 5th one? I3, I means incisor. I means incisor. Acha, karo, see, number 5 bhi karo, you know that, I've already taught you this. Karo, number 5. Chalo. You will do that. No, bell bajega. Jab bell bajega, tab hum jayenge. Take this question as homework. Karo. Nice. At least Vedant is. His doubt happened to be a problem for him only. Anyways, that you can try as homework, you know now.
बस हम लोग ने अनीश नेक्स्ट कर हाँ अनीश ये कर क्यों कितना चीज तो रखा है सारे थे ऐसे ऐसे करना क्यों